أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله. أشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. We give all the praise and the thanks to the Almighty Creator, the Creator of everything. Brother and sister, as we all have often said on this program, we were created and make us part of the creation. The rules and laws that govern the creation also govern our body, our anatomy and physiology. Therefore, we're under the rules of natural law, the rules of health, the pH rule, the iron rule, the sulfur rule, the laws of physics. If we're in violation of these rules and laws, a disease will occur. This is what we must understand. So what we eat, what we drink, and the chemical and substance we expose ourselves to will affect our cells. Our cells are in charge of our health. Health is a reward that comes from our cells. It's a reward for taking care of the needs of our cells. We must focus on our cells. We're made of cells, trillion of them. 40 to 50 trillion cells, over 220 different types of cells. And they're in charge of our health. But they're delicate. If we take good care of them, they're excellent at taking good care of us. And we must focus on the needs of our cells. And what they need, we must give it to them. We must nourish them properly. And when they are dirty and filthy, we must remove and clean them. We must remove the filth, remove the sedimentary sludge, remove the garbage, the concretion. That is our responsibility. They cannot do it. We have to do it for them. We have to keep them clean, keep them satisfied, keep them nourished. If we did those things, they are excellent at maintaining our health. They can reverse every symptom and disease, put things back to normalcy. They have the ability to self-correct, self-regulate, self-cleanse, self-perpetuate. It is we who must provide cleaner blood with more oxygen, because what we eat, what we drink, and the chemical and substance we expose ourselves to will find their way into our blood. Slowing down circulation or preventing circulation of oxygenated blood. That's why the person would be sick. They're not sick because they didn't have some pharmaceutical drugs or did not take some herb this morning. That's not the reason why they are sick. That's not the reason why the person is sick. They're not sick because they didn't take some dietary supplement. They're not sick because they needed some acupuncture or chiropractic adjustment. They're sick. We're sick. This person is sick because they didn't take care of the needs of their cells. They didn't even know that they had to do it. This is what this program is all about. Optimal Health on AM 360. We thank you for joining us today. We have an excellent topic outlined for us. We have two guests. They're both are certified symptometry health coaches, along with ourselves. And we're a student at the American School of Symptometry, the institution that removes the source of every disease from the person's blood. The source of every disease, brothers and sisters. If you didn't know, now you do. Every disease has a source. It came from somewhere. Something happened. It just didn't pop out of nowhere. You made a mistake. You ate the wrong food. You exposed yourself to some toxic, some chemical. You were bitten by a bug, a mosquito. Something happened. That's why you will be sick. So this is the program that explains why the person would be sick. So we thank you once again for joining us today here on Optimal Health on AM 360. We have two guests, Mrs. Rita Taylor, a doctorate student at the American School of Symptometry, also a certified symptometry health coach specializing in pregnancy management. Very, very important. We all came to this life through conception and childbirth through a woman. That's our mother. We all did. So pregnancy management is very, very important. Our second guest would be Ms. Yvette Dean, also a certified symptometry health coach, and in the master program at the American School of Symptometry. And we thank both of them for joining us here today. We thank you so very much. Brothers and sisters, we're going to take a short break and come back, and we're going to start our topic. We have an excellent topic, and we hope you call someone and ask them to join us. We'll be talking about childbirth and women mental disposition. This is very, very important. How women and men are wired differently. And we'll be explaining the difference and what happened after childbirth and what should happen before childbirth. We'll be addressing it. We'll be addressing it. So take a moment to call someone, ask them to join us here today on Optimal Health on AM 360. Brothers and sisters, we'll be right back.
People get sick all the time. However, even after years of research, physicians don't have the faintest clue why most sick people find themselves in the predicament they do. Will they just accept the same treatment without truly getting to the bottom of what is happening to them? Not anymore. Symptometry draws attention to your cells, the building block of your being, allowing you to understand what needs to be done and paving the way for self-correction. developed by Dr. Maxwell Nardi. Symptometry is not medicine or even its alternative. It is a study designed to fill in the void left behind by the most common scientific fields. Symptometric science has proven time and again over 31 years that chaotic eating and living are not in the best interest of the cells. It's about time we change that. To understand symptometry, dive into a whole new world of cell-based knowledge and profoundly appreciate human cells' work. Get your copy of Symptometry and Symptometric Science by Dr. Maxwell Nardi now.
2010, 2020.
Welcome back. You're with Abdul Shaheed and our guests, Ms. Rita Taylor and Ms. Yvette Dean. And we're also certified symptometry health coaches, all of us. And you with your host, Abdul Shaheed, your certified symptometry health coach. We'd like to give our disclaimer at the moment. The information and knowledge shared on optimal health is from the perspective of symptometry and symptometric science. It is not medical science, brothers and sisters. It is based on natural law. And when we're in violation of these natural law, a disease can occur. It is as simple as that. Any names and terms used in this presentation are not for self-diagnosis purposes. They further your understanding of the precepts and concepts of symptometric science. Please contact your physician or your healthcare provider for any medical recommendation. Symptometry is based on natural law. It is not medical science. We emphasize it is not medical science. Ms. Rita, how are you doing today?
Assalamu alaikum. I'm doing fine. How you doing?
Thank you for joining us today.
Okay.
You're going to be our first presenter, and we're going to be talking about childbirth and women mental disposition. So you're the first person up. We're going to pass the mic to you. Thank you so very much for joining us and being with us to share your expertise today on this very important topic. Thank you so very much.
Thank you. Assalamu alaikum. Brothers and sisters, I hope you have people joining us and hearing about pregnancy management. Most of the things I'm going to talk about is really more like a testimony, because a lot of the things that I'm talking about, it happened to me. And that's the reason I'm in pregnancy management. I vow that I will make sure that nobody will go through what I went through when I had my kids. And that's why I pregnancy management is here. Unfortunately, a lot of people, when they know about it and they come in, there's a lot of work to do. So sometimes they don't want to go through the work. But anything worth having is worth pursuing. And so I'd like to share with you about pregnancy. If we had our way, you really need to be, if you're going to get pregnant, my recommendation is, come to symptometry and get a consultation, and so that we can hear your story, why you want to, why you're there and what we can do to help you. Because the food that we eat, the water and the beverages and the air, it really put a lot of strain on our bodies, because we don't know that. Because every time we eat something, we have debris, and that debris, present us with sedimentary sludge on the plasma membrane. We have a lot of inner substances and concretions that needs removed, and also the person moving in the wrong direction. Most people don't even know that is happening. But when you come to symptometry, we will help you to really ionize those concretions that has built up over the years. I was 27 when I got pregnant, and I can tell you that I was clueless about pregnancy. As a matter of fact, I didn't even know I was pregnant until 2 months later, because I never had a regular period. So a lot of people go through different things, and that's why I said this thing is going to be more about my experience and what symptometry has done to help me become ionize the concretions and the inner substances, and really clean my cells. And if you come in and you do that, and really ionize a concretion, I mean, you can get pregnant in a heartbeat, but a lot of people don't know that their body is full of their blood is full of dirt. It's very filthy. All the food you're eating, it really, really doesn't help you. And if you have not cleaned your blood or ionized the concretions, you're going to have issue getting pregnant. A lot of the problems that women have about pregnancy is that because they don't know that the food they eat cause debris, and they have a lot of sedimentary sludge sitting on their plasma membrane that needs to be ionized. And when you do that, that will help you. So that's why I said before you get pregnant, uh, I recommend that you come to symptometry and really talk to the doctor and me, and let us help you through that. We're already helping other people that have done that, and hopefully they're looking forward to a better pregnancy. So that is why what you prepare. I mean, I know there's some situations you don't prepare, you just get pregnant. And if you get pregnant, I promise you that you need to right away come to symptometry and really start, because 9 months come very quickly, and you really need so that we can start helping you with the baby and yourself. So before that is before. That's before. But when you get pregnant, how do you get pregnant? There are going to be some things that I want to tell you about the differences between men and women. Okay, before a person get pregnant, they produce HCG, which is human chorionic gonadotrophin, which is a placental lactogen to prevent fetal rejection by by her DNA, progesterone, estrogen, and oxytocin, four of which men never produce. And let me tell you something: when you go to get a test, to see whether you're pregnant, what is showing up is HCG, which is the human chorionic gonadotropin. That is the first thing that a pregnant woman produce. And that's what say, hey, I'm pregnant, but they don't know how long it's going to be. And in time, you can, if you have a regular period, you'll be able to say, well, I didn't have my period last month, so maybe I'm a month pregnant. But we recommend that as soon as you know, you come to symptometry and really start the process, because the 9 months do come very quickly. So that's the first difference. We do produce this HCG, and which is supposed to prevent fetal rejection by your DNA. And also we produce progesterone, estrogen, and oxytocin, four of which men never produce. And these four things are going to be critical in your pregnancy, basically. That's the first difference between us and men, okay? The second one is also we produce a lot of hormones. The hormones that we produce, we produce less testosterone, but we do produce testosterone. We also produce estrogen and estradiol than men. Okay. Again, that is the second difference. Men do not know that we produce all that in order to help us with our pregnancy. Okay. Really, we produce so much hormones that we are wired differently than men. Okay, and we must also produce as much as high density lipoprotein, which is HDL, and blood elements, so that as much as possible. But unfortunately, a lot of women are anemic because they don't even know that they are anemic, and they suffer from hyperlipidemia. Okay, hyperlipidemia, that you don't have enough HDL in your body. And so when you come to symptometry, one of the molecules they give you as a woman is a high density lipoprotein, HDL, and you need to take it on a daily basis depending on where you're coming. It is one of the things you need to have, that because most women are anemic and they don't even know that. So that is a huge difference between us and men. Okay. And because most, we need that HDL, and a lot of women don't. They suffer from so many things. They experience have you heard people that my hormones are acting up? Okay, they have hormonal imbalances. They have things affecting their thyroid. Their insulin is way out of whack, and their pituitary hormones, which physician never correct because they can't. So these are some of the things that we produce that men don't, and that really impact us during pregnancy. Okay, so to counterbalance the large amounts of hormone that women produce, we must also produce serotonin, epinephrine than men. We have to do that. We have to produce serotonin, more serotonin and norepinephrine than men. Otherwise, we'll become paranoid, okay? And so we need that. But men don't even know that we have that. We produce more than they do. And so to me, the difference is that if your husband doesn't really know who you are, you're going to be in a bad situation. I had a husband who was a medical doctor who understood me when I was going through my cramps and I didn't have my period. She understood, and when I'm screaming and yelling, he understood and said, "Yeah, I know this will pass." But at the same time, too, I was hurting myself. The reason I was having cramps is because I was eating chocolate, which had poison. It had throat bromine, and I didn't know that. And I ate chocolate all the time, and that caused the cramps that I didn't know. So women, we don't even know ourselves. That most of the time we are killing ourselves and we don't even know. So I use myself as an example because I went through a lot of cramps until I came to symptometry and learned that chocolate is poison. And I stopped eating it, and my cramps went away. And of course, they ionized the all the poison that I have been building during my teenage years and until I came here. So again, women don't even know themselves, and if you don't know yourself, the doctor really can't help you. You have to know yourself. Okay. So if men knows about women, maybe they will be more empathy, will be more empathic for women so that they know that women are going through this. So we need to understand this. And when you do understand, you will pass it on. When they have boys, they will pass it on to them. But a lot of men don't want to know. You have few men that want to know. As I said, my husband was very, very, very congenial. He understood it, being a medical doctor. And so he helped me along the way. So my journey was not as hard as some people, but during the pregnancy, I didn't have any problem. But when I was having labor, I had issues. So again, these are the things that if men knew what kind of hormones that we go through, they will probably help us and also pass it on to their sons so that when their sons grow up, they will know that, hey, the woman is going through a lot and we need to be helping them, all that stuff. Women, we suffer a lot of injustice because people don't understand. They think we are more hormonal than anything else, but we go through all the hormonal changes that men don't go through. But again, it comes to the fact that we produce more hormones, more stuff like serotonin and norepinephrine than men, and we need to make sure that the men do understand us. Okay. Um, again, I talked about one of the problems we have as to our mental health. There are three things that you need in your body: acetylcholine, serotonin, norepinephrine. Those three neurotransmitters, they form the base for super mental health. And every female must have them in abundance to enable her brain to function optimally. Why? Because they are the bedrock of mental health. You need to produce these three um, neurotransmitters, okay? Acetylcholine, serotonin, and norepinephrine. Women should have them. But do the women know that they're producing these things? No, they don't, because nobody have taught us. And here we have life skills here that we're being taught, and also the doctor will make sure that you have those, because if you don't, you have issues. Again, because we don't know, women don't know, and men don't know. There's always a conflict in the house, because if you're going through mental issues and your husband is going through mental issues, you're going to have issues when you get pregnant. So women need these three triangular neurotransmitters. They need to have them in abundance, and enable their brain to function optimally. Okay. Instead, what do we have? Women don't know that they're not producing acetylcholine. They don't know that they're not producing serotonin, norepinephrine. They don't know that, and that changes their mood and all the stuff. So sometimes we're walking around like a Titan bomb because we are not producing these neurotransmitters that our body needs. Okay, so that is one of the issues that we need to learn to know about our bodies. And that's what symptometry will do and help you understand when you enroll in pregnancy management, or even you enroll in the school which teaches you these neurotransmitters that you need. Okay. Um, Girls and women, we need help. And when it comes to pregnancy, nobody has a better advocate than our pregnancy management program that we have here. So I am saying that, you know what, I did not have an advocacy, but my husband was. She was strong enough for me to say, I'll be there for you. I know you're going through a difficult time, and I'll be there for you. A lot of men don't know women, and they let women just wither on the vine. And so you need to really, have a supportive husband, or else you have issues. Okay. The other things I want to share with you is the role of acids in our body. Okay. I'm not talking about any acid. We're talking about the natural acid that we produce, the result of biochemical reaction in our body. Okay. The change, some women um, do not, some women, my mother, thank God, she didn't have issues at all, but she didn't know it's pregnancy management. And I wish he had done it, because he knew something about natural law, but he did not know that it was the reason she's teaching me was natural law. She just thought, my mom taught me this, so I need to show you this, special hot water. So anyway, and that's heat is something that they will talk about later. Okay. So what happened when you don't, the natural acid that we have, and you have a cause a drastic shortage in acetylcholine. Women are not able to produce this neurotransmitter again because their physicians are not going to tell them why they're going through that. So medical drugs will not help you, but we do have symptometry. We do have particulates that will neutralize and liquefy, concretions and everything else. As I said in the beginning, the concretions that we have needs to be ionized. And if you ionize them and you clean your blood, you should be a good candidate for pregnancy whenever you are ready to do it. Okay. Um, so what happened? Again, we talked about the neurotransmitters that we don't have. There's something that you need to have, and again, that is something that women need to be aware of. Okay, so what happened after childbirth? I'm going to leave you that. Childbirth, most people become forgetful after childbirth. Why? Because lose they lose some neurochemicals. When you have you lose neurochemicals, and that neurochemicals has to be restored. And when you come to symptometry, we do have what you called, you have the pregnancy and you have the postpartum. The postpartum will help you with the neurochemical that you lose basically during childbirth. Because you know what? In childbirth, you lose a lot of heat, and the heat that you also lose some neurochemicals along the way. How do you do that? Basically, the program we have will help you along the way. And when we help you along the way, you make sure that you have good delivery and everything else. Let me say this to you. Because we are ionizing the concretions and the inner substances in your body, we allow a woman to have delivery in a short amount of time. Let me tell you my story. When I was pregnant, I was a healthy individual. That's what I thought. But I didn't know that I wasn't producing my oxytocin was has inner substance on it has sludge on them, and I was not really, it wasn't cleaned. I didn't know it wasn't ionized. But I thought I was healthy. And my parents helped me so that I didn't have any problems with morning sickness or anything else. But I was not healthy because my body was not it wasn't ionized. The blood wasn't ionized. The concretions were ionized. And so when it came time for delivery, which a lot of women don't know about, my delivery was torturous. I spent over 30 hours in labor. I couldn't dilate. I was up to 6 and I couldn't dilate to 10. And you need to dilate to 10 for you to be able to have a baby normally. So after 30 something hours, the doctors came and said, we have to have a cesarean. And I said, no, I'm not having a cesarean because I came here for normal delivery. And the doctor said, we'll give you 5 more hours. So after 5 hours, I did not have, the baby was still sitting at 6, and we need to we need to have the baby at 10. And so the baby started having some fetal issues. So the doctor said, no, we can wait. Rita, we need to have them. I went to the hospital not prepared for cesarean. My brain and my body was not ready for cesarean, but I have to have a cesarean. And that cesarean, the reason I have it, the oxytocin that I have had a lot of sludge on it. It has concretions on it that was not ionized. So if you ionize that during pregnancy management and clean the blood up, that oxytocin will move so fast that you wouldn't even see it. Here, our program, if you go through it, basically what happened is that that oxytocin will dilate for you. Your cervix will dilate. And so when it comes to labor, instead of spending the 30 hours that I spent or the 35 that I spent, you might be spending only less than an hour. Who doesn't like this? Those 30 or 40 hours is a thing in the past. Our symptometry science is showing the world that you can do this without going through IVF because we clean the sedimentary sludge. We liquefy and ionize the concretions, the inner substances that you have. You eat the food that we ask you to eat. And if you pass those things and do them as we ask you to do, you will be having your baby in less than an hour and you wouldn't even see it. Again, I went through 35 hours because I have a lot of concretions. I have a lot of sludge on my oxytocin, which you need in order for you to have a good dilation. Because without a good dilation, you cannot really dilate to 10 and dilate, which means you cannot push. And symptometry will also help you push, basically because you're clean, the baby will come through like a flash, will come through your womb like a flash, and that will make it easier for you so that when you have your baby, you'll be able to get home, breastfeed and do all those things. Let me tell you one thing about pregnancy, basically having a cesarean, because my body was has so much sludge on the plasma membrane. My body, I could not even breastfeed. I could not breastfeed. I was crying all the time because the pain was so painful. I couldn't breastfeed. My mom said, we have to do something. You're starving your kid because he's not getting any milk. Why? Because my oxytocin was all, it had dirt on it, it has sludge on it. And now I know why I went through what I went through. So the reason I am pregnancy management, I went through so much, my first one, and I went to a second one cesarean because after the first one, I said, I don't want to go through this mess. I'm going to have cesarean, the second one. But no, the drawbacks of having cesarean is another story for another day because you don't need cesarean, you need a vaginal birth. Again, because of what I have, my mental state was not there when I went to have the baby. I didn't go in for cesarean. I went in for vaginal birth, but I didn't know my body. I did not know my body that I had so much sludge that had been building up for the past 27 years before I got pregnant. And I paid the price. Now I don't want women to pay the price. There is a better way. Symptometry science will help you go through pregnancy without you going through the headache, the crying, all the things that people do when they're, in labor. And we will, after the baby, we will also help you and increase, we will, whatever chemical neurochemical that you lost, the heat that you lost during labor, we will get it back to you. We'll give it to you so that you'll be able to replenish that so that it's not that neurochemical is not basically you will not have an emptiness there because in symptometry emptiness does not exist because if you don't replenish that you're going to have garbage and that garbage is going to make it difficult for you and as you take care of your baby so we are here symptometry science is here to replenish what you lose during pregnancy. And we'll replenish it during the postpartum. So we recommend not only the pregnancy management, we also recommend postpartum. And we do have the data to show you how many people participate in the postpartum and how many people participate in pregnancy management. So on that note, I'm just saying that we lose so much heat, our health lose so much heat during pregnancy. We need to restore that and we need to replenish that, so that the person, will start making, not forgetting things and all that stuff because a lot of women that have dementia is because they did not replenish the neurochemicals that they lost when they have babies. And if you have 10, I mean 6, 7, and you don't replenish it, and every time you have you have a baby, you lose something and you don't replenish it, you are going to pay a big price for it. So all I'm saying is symptometry science and pregnancy management is here for the modern woman who want to have a baby quickly, who want to have a healthy baby, who want to be able to breastfeed their baby when they have children, because I've been through all that. And I know how difficult and how frustrating it is to have a child that you can't breastfeed and you have to plug a bottle in their mouth. And breast milk is the natural milk. You need it for the first 11 months when the baby is born, not milk. So again, you can prevent all that and have a good mental health. Replace the heat that you lost so that you don't get dementia along the way. Because when you go to a lot of the assisted living, most of the people in there are women. Do you ask why? Because we never replenish that neurochemicals for when we have babies. And that is one of the good news of symptometry science. So, Brother Saheed, that is my portion of pregnancy management and mental health.
Thank you so very much, Ms. Rita. We're going to take a break and then come back and see if any audience have any questions for you. They should have plenty of questions about how to be prepared for best to deliver a baby, how to be prepared. Pregnancy management is very, very important. And symptometry is making this a focal point of our community health. Community health. It starts with our babies, start with our children. It starts with the mother, brother and sister. That's where it starts. So please do not go anywhere at all. We're going to take a short break. We'll be right back with Abdul Shaheed, your host of Optimal Health on AM 360. And we have our two guests with us today, Mrs. Rita Taylor and Ms. Yvette Dean, both from the American School of Symptometry and both certified symptometry health coaches and students at the American School of Symptometry. Absolutely amazing. We'll be right back.
I'm Dr. Maxwell Narty, inventor of symptometry and symptomatic science. Many of you may not have heard of symptometry because it appears to be new. Unfortunately, new does not mean untested. Symptometry has been around for 32 years, since 1991. During these 32 years, I had to conduct several experiments. I had to test the precepts and the concepts of symptometry and symptomatic science. After 32 years of testing, the results are in. The results are excellent. This is why you are hearing about symptometry and symptomatic science now. I invented symptometry and symptomatic science for a reason. What is this reason? The reason is medical science, nutrition, Chinese traditional medicine, acupuncture, chiropractic, Ayurveda, and herbalism created a gaping hole, a large and deep vacuum, bottomless vacuum that had to be filled. This is why I created symptometry and symptomatic science. We are not here just to fool around. We are here to fill a deep vacuum. How did they create this vacuum? How? I will tell you why. They created this vacuum by focusing on the word disease. Disease. Disease comes from the Greek word pathos. P-A-T-H-O-S, pathos. Pathos give us pathology. And pathology tells you nothing about how a disease started. Pathology tells you absolutely nothing about how a symptom started. This is what is wrong with pathology. Pathology is good to study cadavers, it's good to practice surgery and know where the organs are located. That is what pathology is all about. And if you want to study health, you must know the difference between pathology and health.
Welcome back, brothers and sisters. We thank you for joining us today here on Optimal Health on AM 360. You will listen to Dr. Maxwell Norty, the inventor of symptometry and symptomatic science, speaking about, in his own words, why he created and invented symptometry. Because allopathic medicine dealt with the symptom of the disease, pathology. They study diseases. Symptometry is a little bit different. It studied the source of diseases. Every disease has a source, brothers and sisters. So if anyone have a question for our guest, Mrs. Rita Taylor, this is an excellent time. She shared her portion about childbirth and the mental disposition of women, our mothers, our sisters, our daughter, our aunts. Anyone have a question? You can unmute yourself and ask your question or make your comment. Thank you so very much for joining us today.
Yes, Abdul Shaheed, salam alaikum. I have a
Walaikum
question.
salam, brother Imam. Thank you for joining us.
You're most welcome. A pleasure to be here. I enjoyed the presentation. I got on a little bit late, but I heard most of it. The question
Excellent.
I have, she mentioned that women will suffer from dementia. At what timeline after having the child would they start experiencing the dementia? Is it
Really?
immediate after, years after? Um, could you
Okay.
expound upon that for me, please?
Yes, that's a good question. That's a good question because you really start it right away. Because if you've gone through 30 hours of labor and you lost so much heat, you lose some neurochemicals in your brain. That's what your doctors won't tell you. And that neurochemicals in your brain needs to be replenished. My mom have a lot of kids and she did not have that. But again, she was lucky not to have dementia. But if you replenish that neurochemicals during postpartum, that's what we do best here. We have postpartum, and that postpartum, the doctor will give you those particulate to replenish the neurochemicals that you lost during labor, because people don't think about labor, but labor is you lose a lot of heat, and that's what symptometry steps in and give you this particularly to replenish what you lose. I mean, people say, oh, I have problem with postpartum, I have issues, I have mental. You lost some things that wasn't replaced, and if you don't replace it in physics, there's nothing like empty thing. It has to be replaced with something. And that something is garbage. And that's what we do well. We replenish for you right away so that you will not have the memory fog. You will not have the dementia along the way when you get older. So the sooner you do it, the better off for you.
Excellent. Did that answer the question, brother Imam? You have another one?
Yes. That did answer my question. If there's no one else, I would like to ask another one.
Go
Sure,
right
go
ahead.
ahead.
Oh, okay. I've talked to women after childbirth, and they said that a few women that I talked to years past
Mhm.
said they had experienced the lack of desire to participate in sexual activity with their husband. They lost that sensation. Is that
Exactly.
also due to can you expound upon that for me?
Yes, and it's not. It's known. It's not. The women you're talking to. It's known. I had the same problem when I had mine was even worse because I had cesarean, and you can't touch me at all because I was in pain for 6 months. So don't even bother. I mean, women go through things that the husband don't really understand, and they until you go through a healthy postpartum. Here people don't go to postpartum. They had the baby, they go home, and that's about it. You need to follow up with your doctor about postpartum. And as I said, those chemicals that you lose will help you get back to normalcy. I did not, because I didn't know symptometry. And again, I was in pain. I was in pain for months and months. So no, my husband couldn't. You cannot even come near me. So that is a recurring problem that women do have. So again, symptometry will help you. Again, it will help you to navigate that so that you don't have you have the desire to have to have a sexual relationship with your husband. But I went through that myself, so I can attest to that. Hmm. You have more questions? I'll be happy to.
No, you answered it very well. I have a comment though, and that
No,
comment is
go
the
ahead.
comment is that I'm very grateful. that there's people like you and Dr. Nordy and Brother Shaheed and that whole crew that makes it more tolerable for us to understand
Mm-hmm.
women and
Mm-hmm.
what they have to go through. I'm
Mm-hmm.
simply amazed. I'm 70 years old,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm learning so much in the last few years by knowing Dr. Shaheed.
Mm-hmm.
That I call him Dr. Shaheed, but anyway. So, because
That's fine.
alhamdulillah.
On
So,
the
but
way.
I'm just want to commend you guys. I'm not going to take up a lot of time, but I just want to commend you all, and the work that you do, man, is pioneering.
Yes.
We don't talk about stuff like this, man. Men don't talk to their wives about this.
Mm-hmm.
Wives don't explain, in detail because most of them don't know. So,
Exactly.
so we,
Absolutely. You're right.
so
Brother,
we appreciate you guys very much.
we are a community service. We come here every week. Brother Sahid, I've been doing it for years. We come here every week and we try to educate people about their body needs, how they can stay healthy. And to me, it became my passion because of what I went through. And I just want to make sure that women are more educated about their bodies, what they can do to be healthy, the food that they're eating, the drinks that they're drinking, not so that you need to invest in good water. When I say good water, electrolyte water that gives you everything you need. That's how you prepare for it. Whether you're pregnant or not, you need quality water. Invest
Mhm.
in that. And that alone will give you some of the heat that you lose. I mean, women, nobody tell us anything, and we assume that is correct. It's not. And I really commend Brother Saheed and his community outreach, and that's why every week I try to be here just to add to whatever he's adding. But pregnancy is the foundation.
Absolutely.
It's the foundation of everything. Good
Mhm.
foundation is the beginning of the beginning. The natural law is the foundation. And if you start right with your child is not going to have mental issues. Your child is not going to be talking back to you. Your child will be a very calm person because
Mm.
most of the things that we remove during pregnancy is going to help the child grow up to be better citizens. They are not going to be robbing the bank. They will be good citizens. And to me, that is the beauty of
Absolutely.
pregnancy management. It's the beauty. That's why I'm passionate about it. It's the beauty because it will serve and help our community grow. It will give us a better community where we care for each other, we help for each other, and the children are growing to be good citizens who love God and who know what it is to be a human. So to me, you hit the thing nail on the head. Pregnancy management is a foundation of our living,
Absolutely.
and that's what St. Thomas is trying to do.
Thank you so very much, Miss Rita. Anyone
Yes.
else have a question for our first presenter? Excellent, excellent.
Thank you.
Pregnancy management is the foundation of community life. It is the foundation of society. It's with our women. That's where it starts. Most men do not understand. That's why we're having this program. That's why we're having this program. Most men do not understand what women have to go through. And most women do not understand what they have to go through. That's why we're having this program. So we can be better citizens, be better to each other, and build a foundation for community life. It starts with the mother, the first teacher. If she don't understand her own body, how can she teach her daughters what
There
to
you go.
expect? It's not going to happen, brothers and sisters, through osmosis. We have to have knowledge. And that's what we present on this program, knowledge that your own physician would not give you. They don't educate you. They don't tell the woman why she got to have a C-section and what happened. They don't tell the woman that she don't have energy to push the baby out,
Mm-mm.
and the baby don't have energy to pop out. With symptometry, the mother is loaded with energy and the baby is loaded with energy. 10, 15 minutes, the labor is over before you even get started. The baby is here. in the mother's arm. That's how it's supposed to be. The woman's not supposed to go through all this suffering. 24 hours, 48 hours, and the baby still haven't made it here yet. Everybody walking around wondering what's happening. They went home, they had dinner, they took a shower, and came back, and the woman's still in labor. That is nonsense.
Exactly. The men are freaking out.
We now have symptomatic signs, so things will happen naturally. The woman have all the enzyme, all of the hormone. A human being must produce 30 hormones. That's men and women. But if the person is pregnant, she must produce 36 hormones. It takes a lot of effort and a lot of work to do that. You have to know about scientific eating, cooking, and living on this planet. Otherwise, the mother won't be able to do it. That's why she has problems. There's no mystery here, brother and sister. We're doing things wrong.
Mm-hmm.
We're violating natural laws.
Mm-hmm.
And no one is teaching. But the American School of Scientology have it right. We know exactly what to do. So we have a course a person can specialize in called pregnancy management and postpartum care. We don't have to wait on the physician. We don't have to wait on the gynecology, OBGYN, obstetrician, all those people. No, we have a community we can depend on. We have to become more and more knowledgeable to take care of our own self and stop looking for someone else to do it. Nobody's coming, brothers and sisters, to save us. We're going to have the knowledge to do it ourselves. So, Ms. Rita, we thank you so very much. We're going to ask one final time. If anyone else have a question for our first presenter. This is a very, very important topic, brothers and sisters. Pregnancy management, childbirth, and women mental disposition. If the woman is upset at home, nobody going to have any peace. You can imagine how it is in the society. We abuse our women, brother, without even knowing it. We have to change this. It is the mother that's producing a law-abiding citizen or a criminal.
And there you go.
Mother. We all come through a mother. We all come through that birth canal. We all come through from conception. So it's going to be a law-abiding citizen or it's going to be a criminal.
There you go. And I would like to
end. If you violate the natural law, you're going to have a criminal on your hand to deal with. You will wonder where it came from. You swear it did not come from you. But it did because we made many mistakes. Now we're able to have the knowledge to correct our mistakes and change our course of action. That's why we're having this program, brothers and sisters, and more people need to be on here so they can learn about our mental situation, our mental state of mind. We have too many people running around with weapons and their children. What do you think happened? They're not able to produce acetylcholine, a neurotransmitter. They stopped at the age of 3 if they did it then. Because the mother was not able to produce them.
I to end
this is what happened. We have to correct this situation, and this is how we do it. One birth at a time.
One thing at a time. Well, let me say this to all of you here. Pregnancy management is not a walk in the park. It is heavy lifting. If you come in with your heart that you're going to make it, you'll make it. Because we're going to ask you to do things like changing your diet, doing this and all the stuff that you have to do. And if you come in early to ionize your blood, because the concretions that you have, the inner substance that you will hit a home run when you start your pregnancy management, because we are all full of dirty blood. And that's what we do best, is to liquefy the dirty blood and ionize it. So I tell all my prospective pregnancy ladies and young women, come to symptometry and ionize your blood, and you will be happy when the time comes for you to be pregnant. So that's it. I really appreciate the program, and I'll talk to you next week, guys.
Thank you so very much, Ms. Rita.
Okay, thank you.
We're going to share her information as she make her exit, and we thank her so very much for being with us today here on Optimal Health on AM 360. Let's see if I can find the information. Well, I don't see it here. Oh, there it is. Okay, we're going to share her information as she make her exit. Did an excellent job presenting her portion. That's her information right there, brothers and sisters. Specialized in pregnancy management. Absolutely amazing. Mrs. Rita Taylor, certified centometry health coach in the doctoral program to be a centometry doctor. And she already specialized in pregnancy management to have a perfect, healthy baby, producing neurons and neurotransmitter in the billions every day, and helping the mother to clean up her blood so she does not pass on blood impurities, sedimentary sludge from her blood to the baby's blood, blocking the production of neurons and neurotransmitters to be a perfect human being. And we modify the mother's diet to a more scientific diet. And we modify the mother's lifestyle. If you have a certain lifestyle and you're trying to have a baby, this is the problem. You can't drink alcohol. You can't drink or smoke marijuana. And you can't smoke other hashes just because somebody told you they were natural. Yeah, they're natural, all right. And they have natural poison and chemicals and alkaloids because the plant's going to protect themselves, whether you know it or not. And they use poison to do it. We have to know these things, brother and sister. We have to know how to protect ourselves. So it's not as easy as you think to have a baby. And the mother has to produce enzyme, not eat food to deactivate or denature the enzyme that she produced. They won't work if that happens. So we'll work with the person, modify their diet, modify their lifestyle, and teach them how to cook food. Most people think they're a good cook, but it's the bad cooks that make all of us sick. It starts with the food and the fruits and beverages that we're drinking, fruits and vegetables we eat. That is the problem, brothers and sisters. Now we use science to select our food based on our condition and based on producing the enzyme to digest them. This is what has to happen. And produce all of the hormone to maintain our human behavior. Without all of the hormone, somebody's going to be acting like a criminal or a mentally ill person. There's no mystery here. We can explain every behavior for the lack of production of neurons and neurotransmitters, chemicals. So we see Ms. Rita information, her website is Pregnancy Made Easy. Her email address, info@pregnancymadeeasy.com. Absolutely amazing. We thank her for joining us here today on Optimal Health on AM 360 and sharing the information about childbirth and women disposition. So, brothers and sisters, I'm going to share my part right quick. And we have our third presenter, Mrs. Yvette Dean. She will also be talking about childbirth and women mental disposition. We're talking about women mental disposition so we as men can better understand them. So we can work together in our family instead of separating in divorce. More than 50% of the marriages in the United States end in divorce. That's absolutely ridiculous. Now we're explaining the reason why, the reason that's happening. Secret to mental health. Mrs. Rita touched on that topic a little bit. I'm going to go a little bit more in detail about the secret of mental health. To have mental health, so the person is not forgetful, having dementia, and full-blown Alzheimer's. So the person makes excellent choices. We have to have the best use of our mind, but if our brain is compromised, lack of oxygen in our brain, lack of heat. Ms. Rita mentioned heat. We'll be losing heat from our brain. We're going to have some issues mentally. we're going to be hard to get along with. And when a woman have a baby, she have had a heavy toll on her health. The neurons in the neurotransmitter, she won't be able to produce them in the right amounts, the right numbers, if at all. Her hormone, being able to produce 36 hormones, you need help from symptometry to be able to do it. Most women, even though they are pregnant and they're supposed to produce 36 hormones, they still can't do it. We're talking about in an ideal situation. Most situations is not ideal. They don't have the bare minimum. They didn't expect to have a baby in the first place. They were not prepared. So you think they're prepared with the hormones and the neurotransmitter? They're not. That's why we have so many trouble in the society today. People are not prepared to have children. Physically, they're not prepared. No, they're not prepared mentally. And we can forget about the spirit. That's why we see so many problems, brothers and sisters. So the bedrock of mental health goes back to those three neurotransmitters. They're called triangular transmitters. Number one, acetylcholine. Number two, serotonin. Number three, norepinephrine. There are over 20 or 30 functions of acetylcholine in the person. This is a neurotransmitter, brothers and sisters. There's 12 of them. 12 neurotransmitters that a human being must produce to be human. We're not talking about somebody with 2 legs, 2 eyes, a head, 2 arms, a lip, a nose, and all that. That doesn't make you a human being. It is neurons, neurotransmitter, enzyme control human behavior. If you don't produce them in the right amount, in the right number, you won't be human. I'm sorry to tell you that, but that's the case. You'll see a creature that's not human. So this is very, very important information that a mother-to-be needs to know. She needs to know this information before she gets pregnant. What was the quality of the man's sperm that impregnated her? Did he smoke marijuana? Did he drink alcohol? Was he a gambler? These are the questions she needs to be asking. The quality of the man's sperm will affect the outcome of that pregnancy. Years down the road. We have to know this, brother and sister. So the bedrock of mental health are those 3 triangular neurotransmitters. Why is this the case? Most women who are pregnant, brother and sister, have neurotransmitter deficit. They have enzyme deficit. They have hormonal deficit. They know nothing about symptometry. They know nothing about scientific cooking and eating. They know nothing about what prevents enzymes from working. What blocks the brain from producing acetylcholine. They know nothing about that. They think any food that they eat is nourishing. No, it is not, brother and sister. All food is not the same. All beverages are not the same. We're made of water, and people want to drink everything else other than water, especially a pregnant woman. She want to drink juices, want to drink soda, want to drink coffee and tea, and all of those beverages has issues, negative side effects from drinking those things. And you won't be able to produce the 36 hormone to have a baby. This is why a mother will have to have a C-section. She won't dilate. The chaotic eating will cause the same problem. That's why you need symptometry pregnancy management or work with a certified symptometry health coach. like Mrs. Rita, Miss Yvette Dean, or myself. We all have the knowledge for a woman to have a perfect pregnancy, perfect child, a law-abiding citizen, someone that won't be stubborn, talk back, that you cannot even recognize that it came out of you. Absolutely amazing, brothers and sisters. Dr. Maxwell Norty, his late mother, gave birth to 12 children. 5 of them died. Can you imagine the toll on her mind, on the one that died? For a woman to experience a stillbirth, the toll on the woman's mind. Can you imagine? No, you can't even imagine the toll on her mind. To have a miscarriage, the toll on her mind. But this is the case, even with Dr. Norty, late mother. And he ended up being one of the ones that survived, that lived. But he was the sickest one of them. Because his mother didn't have perfect health. She had hypertension and other diseases, and she was taking that high blood pressure medication for over 30 years, and she still ended up dying with congested heart failure. And she religiously took up medication every day, 8 o'clock in the morning, for over 30 years, and still died from congested heart failure, a weak heart. It's incredible what happened to us, brother and sister. And Dr. Norty ended up being the sickest person in his family. He nearly died several times. But dying was not an option for him. He started studying, brother and sister. He started studying. He changed careers. He went back to school like I chose to do, following his footsteps. I'm back in school. Already had several degrees, like Dr. Norty, several degrees. But he had health issues. Death was not an option. He had to become more knowledgeable. He did all of the things allopathic medicine, Western medicine say do. And they could not help him. They gave up on him. So he went to learn himself. He studied homeopathic medicine. And he found out that homeopathic medicine could not help him either. Then he went and studied, got a doctorate degree in homeopathic medicine and a doctorate degree in natural health medicine. And none of those things helped him. None of those things helped him. So he found all three. Western medicine, allopathic medicine, failed him. Homeopathic medicine failed him. And naturopathic medicine failed him. That's why, brothers and sisters, he had to invent symptometry and symptometric science. And now he's the healthiest person on this planet. No disease in his body. He was the sickest person in his family.
Amazing. Amazing.
Absolutely amazing. And with a sick mother that produced him. She didn't know anything about symptometry. And he at the time didn't know anything either. But now he knows what happened. He studied her life and what happened. He's to have done research now on her life. And he put together the information and the research from studying her and observing what happened in this article that we're presenting to you. So you can benefit. So I can benefit. So my grandchildren, your grandchildren, great-grandchildren, women, daughters sisters and aunts could benefit, brother and sister. This is why we have this program called Optimal Health. It should be hundreds of people on this program. Allopathic medicine failed, Dr. Naughty. Homeopathic medicine failed, Dr. Naughty. Naturopathic medicine failed, Dr. Naughty. He invented symptometry and symptomatic science by studying the natural laws that govern everything in the universe, including human beings. And I'm sharing with you that this is no accident. This is no accident, brother and sister. He gathered all of the facts, all of the information, and he invented symptometry from what he learned, the mistakes that were being made in allopathic medicine, the mistakes that have been made in homeopathic medicine, and the mistakes that have been made in naturopathic medicine. And he used the chromatography machine to analyze the food that people have been eating for thousands of years. And he developed scientific cooking, scientific eating, and scientific living on this planet. So we can maintain the filter, the pattern in creation. We're under these laws and rules. No one knew. In 1978, Dr. Naughty became an advocate of women and children. Why? Because his late wife gave birth to their first child. Absolutely amazing. Gave birth to their first child. Now I'm 45 years old. This is no accident, brother and sister, that we stumbled into symptometry. No accident at all. No accident. This is why Dr. Naughty developed pregnancy management. He became an advocate of women and children. He developed pregnancy management to have a perfect, healthy baby. A law-abiding citizen, brother and sister. That's what we're talking about here. Somebody that's going to obey and learn, producing the neurotransmitter acetylcholine, to learn, to study, to organize, to have insight, look into things, to be in tune with the universe, eager to learn and paying attention and listening to their parents, producing neurons and neurotransmitter in the proper amounts. That's what it takes. The role of acid in female. We're not talking about acid from fruits and vegetables. We talk about natural acid that our own body will produce, brothers and sisters, because of a biochemical reaction taking place 24/7. There are certain acids our own body will produce that will neutralize acetylcholine, that will neutralize serotonin and norepinephrine, those three triangular neurotransmitter, the bedrock of mental health. That's acid that our own body will produce to deactivate them. If you don't know how to clean them up. Sulfuric acid is one of them, and nitric acid is the other one, produced naturally by a human being. And you have to know that you have to clean these things up. You have to know that we have to clean garbage. The human body produces a lot of garbage, sedimentary sludge, inert substance in them, things that won't move once they get in your bloodstream, not going anywhere. Now, how are you going to get oxygen in your brain if you have end-up substance and concretion and sedimentary sludge blocking circulation. We're speaking about knowledge that your physicians do not have a clue. They don't study this, brothers and sisters, in medical school. What I'm sharing with you, they do not study. Since they do not study, they cannot help you to remove it. And with those electrodiagnosis machine that costs millions and billions of dollars, will not be able to see these things, I'm telling you. The unseen portion of the human being. That's what a human being is. The intersection between the seen and the unseen. At the American School of Symptometry, we have to study the unseen portion of the human being. That part you cannot see. We still have to study it. And that's why we use physics to explain it. The unseen, brother and sister. That is why you can go to a physician, you know you have a problem, and they do all the tests, and they come back and say, oh, you're normal. Now, we couldn't find anything. Sure, they couldn't. Those machines don't pick up everything. Maybe about 25% of what they're looking for. 75% go unseen, brothers and sisters. They would never tell you. I'm telling you, because these are the facts, and you have to know them. They'll send you back home, and you still have a problem. And all of a sudden, we get the call say, she passed in her sleep, or he passed in her sleep. Yes. Then they'll say, she died of natural causes. No, the person poisoned themselves. They remove the garbage and the sludge and the concretion, and they block circulation from taking place in their brain, or in their heart, or in their lung. Could be anywhere. These are the facts, brothers and sisters. We have to remove those acids, neutralize them. Acid breaks the bond on acetylcholine. Many particularly, they are made from strong acid to break the bonds on poison and toxic. So they're not poison anymore to us. So they can be liquefied and removed. And our own body can do the same thing when it produces acid and you never remove them or neutralize them. Another reason for pregnancy management, brothers and sisters. Another reason why the person would have mental illness, because of not producing those 3 neurotransmitters, this is after childbirth, would be that the physician, the psychiatrist, if she go to one, will prescribe drugs. There's no drug, brothers and sisters, that will help the person produce neurotransmitter, those 3 neurotransmitters. That is no drugs. Our own cell must produce the neurotransmitter. There's no fruit that you can eat. There's no supplement that you can take. You have to be able to get more oxygen to your brain. Without that, it's not going to happen. You have to be able to get more heat to your brain. Without the heat and the oxygen, it's not going to happen. A prescription for pharmaceutical will not help the person produce those neurotransmitters. So as time goes by after pregnancy, the woman's going to become forgetful, have dementia, senile, and then eventually full-blown Alzheimer. And Ms. Rita mentioned the Alzheimer ward. 65% are women who have had children in these Alzheimer wards all over the world. Globally, this is a problem. Globally, brothers and sisters, this is a problem. 65% of all the people that's in those places are women who have had children. This is no accident. This is why we're talking about it. And here, if you don't know it, in the United States, for an African-American woman to be pregnant and have a baby is a death sentence. Death occurred 3 to 4 times of the African-American woman counterpart of a Caucasian. In death. Another reason, brothers and sisters, for symptomatic pregnancy management. These are the facts. Nobody's coming to save us. We have to get more knowledgeable to save ourselves. And that's what this program is all about. Tell your friends, tell your associate that we share scientific verifiable information on this program called Optimal Health. And it's a community service that we're offering here. You won't get this information from nowhere. I guarantee you. It's not going to happen. What happened after childbirth? After childbirth, most, if not all, women become forgetful, irritable, opinionated, inconsiderate, inconsistent, uncompromising, absolutist. They become stubborn, domineering, and snappy. And these are the people that's in customer service. They gotta wait on you. They're the manager of a restaurant that you want to eat at. They might be the person that's going to be completing your taxes. It's absolutely amazing, brothers and sisters. They're going to have the last word. They got to win the argument. That's what we have to deal with. And we have to know this, brothers and sisters. We have to know this information. We have to know that this is what's going to happen. And here's the saddest part. Men do not understand what's going on with them. And most women do not understand what's going on with them. You see how important this topic is? That's why most of our marriages end in divorce. It's no accident. It's a misunderstanding because people don't know what is happening to the woman after childbirth. It's a heavy toll on her to produce a baby. It's a heavy toll. And she never gets the support that's needed. So now we have symptometry, brothers and sisters, to help her with this situation and bring knowledge to the table, as well as those particulates and molecules you heard us talking about, to replenish what she lost during childbirth. This is what has to happen, brothers and sisters. And we hope this is an excellent eye-opener for all of us. Our mothers, our daughters, our aunt, our sister, they are the first teacher. And they are abused the most in our society, brothers and sisters. We already know this. You don't have to have me to tell you this. They are abused the most. They do the same work as a man and get paid less. And most times they are more knowledgeable than the man on the job, and they get paid less. Then they are taken advantage of. They are abused in their home, in the workplace. They're traumatized. We have to do better, people. The mother, the foundation of societal life all over this planet. And she's treated the worst. and she gave birth to populate the world. Can you imagine? For 3.8 million years, she's been giving birth to populate the world. Now we have a lot of crazy people running around because of the mistakes that we've been making. Brothers and sisters, there's a lot of work for us to do. We have our third presenter coming right up. We're going to see if anyone have any questions for me before we bring her on board to wrap this conversation up on childbirth and women mental disposition, so we can gain a better understanding of what we need to do to help our sister. And men need to know that this is the situation. No one have ever brought this to our attention. She's not just talking back and being stubborn just because she just wants to be. She's not able to produce the neurotransmitter, acetylcholine, in the right amount. Then after childbirth, low libido, she's not producing the hormones. Symptometry can help with all of those situations and all of those conditions. So anyone have a question at this time, brothers and sisters? You can ask me a question about what we've been talking about, childbirth and women mental disposition, so men can better understand what happened and what is happening. Anyone have a question?
Yes, yes. This is a great show that we're having today,
Yes, indeed.
allowing men to understand women, finally.
Yes, from the very first time, Mr. Bet.
Yes, yes, yes. It's great information, and I mean, it's enlightening because now we're able to, help men understand what we go through
Go
in,
through,
in childbirth.
absolutely. It's a heavy toll.
Very exciting
Heavy, very heavy.
topic today.
And many
Mm-hmm.
women do not understand what they're up against.
Or what's happening to them.
Exactly. And no physician, gynecology, or obstetrician will explain it to her. They're not going to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely amazing.
We wonder why the men leave us, right?
Exactly.
Because we're
He doesn't
irritable,
understand. She doesn't understand.
Right.
That's what happened.
But it's now understood today. We're depleted.
Of all the
The babies took everything from us.
Right.
I don't know if you've heard of that statement before, how, women are depleted when they have
Yes.
babies, 3 or more kids. We're depleted of everything. But if we go through pregnancy management, okay, we will not be depleted.
Exactly.
Depleted. We will not be depleted. We're getting more nourishment that we need, more brain essentials, the neurotransmitters. We need those during pregnancies and additional essentials. But we never knew that. We never knew.
No one
at all.
educated us. None of us was educated.
Right, right, right. Mm-hmm.
Absolutely
But now
amazing.
we know.
Coach.
Yes, sir. Go right ahead, Professor.
Is there? I know it probably is. Things that the women can do before the pregnancy.
Yes.
In order to make sure that the pregnancy is going to be. I'm talking about before she even gets pregnant.
Yes.
Yes,
we recommend. Sometimes we recommend even before the mother and the father get pregnant, that they come to symptometry 2, 3, 4, 5 years before they're going to have that child, so they can modify their diet to scientific eating, cooking, and living. Learn the health rule, learn the skills to live on this planet, so they can pass them on, so they have the perfect baby. And then they clean up their system, clean up their blood, remove the sedimentary sludge that's in their brain, that's causing the brain to malfunction. So they'll be producing all of the neurotransmitter, should be producing all of the 36 hormone with no problem. 10 minutes, 5 minutes, 20 minutes at the most, the baby is here. And that woman can go start doing whatever she want to do the very next day. She's loaded with energy. Then take all of her energy. And the babies have plenty of energy and force and power to come here. Yes, the answer to your question is yes. Do something before before you even conceive. That's the thing that the father has to do. You
Mm-hmm.
can't be smoking marijuana and drinking alcohol and beer and wine. And you're talking about having a baby. What kind of sperm is that going to produce? The sperm is the life germ that's going to fertilize the egg. That's where it starts. What kind of genetic material are you going to pass on?
Mm-hmm.
Recessive gene, they're going to bring monsters here. That's what happens. It's no accident that we have children running around with weapons trying to rob somebody and take your car. It's just a matter of time. We all be confronted with that situation. That is why.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you for that question, brother. That's an excellent question. Can something be done? Yes, that's why we have pregnancy management. People should come to symptometry years before they have a baby so they can get everything straight, produce all of the enzyme, get their health back if they have any health issues. People have health issues and they're still trying to have a baby. That's the reason why some people can't conceive. They have health issues. They can come to symptometry and resolve those health issues, have the best health ever, and produce the best human. This is what has to happen. We can't just keep passing on mistakes and keep making mistakes. That's what's been going on. And now we have a generation, we don't know what they become. We have to do better with ourselves. The change starts with us, brother and sister. Then we're in a better position to help our grandchildren, our great-grandchildren, and take care of our own health. Then they won't have to try to take care of us, sticking us somewhere. I'm not going to wait for that to happen to me. No, my objective is to outlive my children. Thank you so very much. Anyone else have a question or a comment before I transfer the mic to Mr.
Yes,
Vet?
assalamu alaikum, Brother Shaheed.
Assalamu, Brother Muhammad. Thank you for
Yeah,
joining us today.
well, you're quite welcome. I got some good news for all of us.
Excellent.
Have you heard of Sam Cobb Farms?
Sam
Cobb, C-O-B-B.
Sam Cobb.
Farms. He produced dates.
Oh, okay. He's
That's right.
producing dates. Good.
He produces dates.
He doesn't eat dates.
That's right.
Excellent.
And you know, Ramadan coming up, we all eat Ramadan. Well, most of us eat Ramadan all year. But anyway,
Yes.
Ramadan coming up.
Yes.
Go online, put in Sam Cobb Farms, and I'll bring you right to his farm. You'll see him talking, see the dates and all that.
Okay, we'll do that.
We said everybody go right away so you have your dates from Sam Farm for Ramadan.
All right. Thank you for that information.
You're quite welcome.
Anyone else have a question or comment before we pass the mic to Miss Yvette? She's going to share some additional information about childbirth and female disposition, women disposition after childbirth. Anyone?
Yes.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Okay, Miss Yvette, we're going to pass the mic to you. And before I do, I'd like to let everybody know that Dr. Norton has written a book on women optimal health, all the women health issues. Women have special issues, brothers and sisters. Some women might not even know this, but women have special issues. I want to share that book. There it is right there. And that book, Women, the Path to Optimum Women Health, many issues is discussed in this book. How to prevent and overcome every issue in female health. Absolutely amazing.
Amazing.
Absolutely amazing, sisters. Don't overlook this book. Don't do it. The knowledge that's in this book could change your life. And then we have pregnancy management. It could change your future with your children. They'll be more considerate, more understanding, and they won't be stubborn, fighting you every little move you have to make them make. You have more cooperation out of them. Absolutely amazing. But I just wanted to share that before you got started. Thank you so very much.
Yes, thank you. Yes, that book is amazing. I have read that book, and it's so many women issues that women we're not aware of. We're not
Absolutely.
aware of. And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, for coming today to learn a little bit more about our health. And we appreciate you coming every week to learn more about natural and scientific um, health. Okay, so, as I mentioned earlier, and Coach Rita mentioned earlier about, women and pregnancy and how we go through so much as women, and what we go through carrying babies for 9 months. That's not easy. We carrying babies, we're doing household chores, we're taking care of our men, we're shopping, and we're just doing a lot. Ladies have a lot. Women has a lot on them. Okay, and it's important for us to stay mentally sane. Very important. But it is our job. We were created to give birth, to give birth. Because why most women want to get pregnant? To most women, they are not fully grown until they are pregnant or they give birth or they are called mommy, meaning they have also given life and crossed the motherhood threshold. It's their badge of honor. It's their badge of honor to give birth. Okay? And some women do feel that they're not fully grown until they have a baby. Just to have that experience. But having a child does take a lot of toll from us. Takes a lot of our nutrients. I know you've heard the saying, I had perfect teeth until I had my child. You know, I had a great figure until my third child, you know, and then, we pick up weight and, we just go through a lot after birth. We pick up weight, we feel unloved, you know, and a guest came on asking about why women, are not in the mood basically after childbirth. Well, because we have a lot on us, a lot, and men are just now understanding women and what we go through and how we should be cherished. Cherished. We would probably want to, be more affectionate if the men understood us more. Like, if we're having a bad day, take the night shift for us when we're having a baby. Take the night shift. We'll be more, looking at you, winking our eye when you do things like that. You know, um, give us a break. Let us take naps during the day when we have babies. Rub our feet, rub our backs. We would love that, right? It shows that you're involved also as the father. It shows you're involved, you're helping, you appreciate the life that we gave you. We gave you a son or a daughter, life. And sometimes women don't feel, appreciated for that. We just have babies and expect to raise them by ourselves. And, the men are always gone, most of the time. And when they get home, they're tired, right? Which is understandable because they work all day, but we're tired too because we work all day in the home, making sure we have dinner on the table for you while we're taking care of a newborn. It would be nice to have more, appreciation. And then, maybe you may get a little bit more affection because we see that you're helping us. You're getting more involved. You understand. what we're going through. We are depleted. The the baby took everything from us of what we had. We were already depleted, and then we're having 2, 3 babies, and we're getting extra depleted, and we never replenish them. Never. Did you know that a woman loses a considerable amount of heat through her head when pushing out a baby from the womb? Yes, yes, we lose a lot of heat from our head. This is why it's important when it's cold to cover your head. A lot of heat escapes from the head. And do most women know how to restore, or men know how to restore heat and electricity? No. And women during childbirth, we don't know how to restore that. Okay, so we see why we are irritable. We are depleting ourselves with the neurotransmitters. Bedrock of mental health, which is acetylcholine, serotonin, and norepinephrine. Those are the bedrock of mental health. So if we're getting depleted of those three, yes, we're going to be irritable. Yes, we're going to be snappish. I used to snap all the time, not understanding why. But if I would have had a little bit more affection, you know, it would have been better, right? So I'm saying this is because, there are men out there that just, you know, thank you, you gave me a son. Thank you, you gave me a daughter. But don't show it. Don't show it in actions. Yes, baby, I love you. How was your day? Oh, good. I'm going to go here and, sit down and eat, and then I'm going to go lay down. We're looking for you to say, you know, you know, come in, give me an hour to recoup after all day. That would be lovely. Lovely. Okay. And look out in the room tonight, right? Because we see that you're showing us love, showing us attention. Okay. That we gave you a life and ourselves, of course. Babies are a blessing, but we as women need to be taken care of so we could take care of the baby even more, right? So they can grow up healthy children, healthy children. And it is our responsibility to replenish what we have lost. I didn't know that back then, when I had my kids back in the 80s, 90s. I had no idea that we could even replenish our brain essentials. And yeah, so there was consequences because, I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know what was happening. Okay. So yes, I was experiencing all of those after childbirth. Brain fog, memory loss. So when those were depleted, what happened? It was replaced by garbage, engrossments, engorgements. It's called quantum physics. Emptiness does not exist. If nutrients is not there, something has to be there. In this case, inside the body is sludge. It's concretions. So if those are there and the neurotransmitters are not there, what's going to happen? We're not going to be sane. We're not going to be sane. We're going to have mental issues. And when I met symptometry, Dr. Marte told me immediately I need some norepinephrine immediately because I was snapping left and right over the littlest things, the littlest things. And I had no idea where it was coming from. And I'm very blessed to have met symptometry, because if they wouldn't have removed the garbage and the sedimentary sludge from my brain, I could have dementia in the future and later full-blown Alzheimer's disease. My mother had 3 girls, and she had Alzheimer's disease before she passed away for 2 years. Could it have been contribute to the depletion of having children? Possibly, and other factors. But yes, yes, bedrock was depleted. Bedrock of mental health was depleted. Triangular neurotransmitters were depleted. Acetylcholine, serotonin, norepinephrine was depleted, excuse me, was depleted. And I was snapping all over the place. The littlest things. Didn't understand why. But now I understand more, especially after reading the book on women's health about myself, my body, the need for attention. So, yes, a lot goes on in a woman's body when she gives birth. A lot, a lot. So, who will remove the sludge after the neurotransmitter has been depleted and sludge has took its place? Who is going to remove that so things can get back to normal? You have a loving house. Who? Physicians are not able to remove sludge from your body. They may have not studied that. They may not even know what sludge is. Densitometry is the only one that can remove sludge and help the cells produce the neurotransmitters that they need to produce. Our cells are amazing. We should not overlook them with pharmaceutical drugs. There's no need to. Our Creator made us without chemicals. Why should we give it chemicals? Why? We were made with nutrients and resources. That's what we're made of. So if we're depleted in anything in our bodies, if we are depleted, if we go to the doctor, get our blood work, and we show that we're depleted or over, then that tells us that we need to come to symptometry to get our cells cleaned up, get them oxygenated, so they can produce all the brain essentials that we need, that our children took from us. And then when they have children, the same thing. They must go through pregnancy management. Go as soon as possible. As soon as you find out you're pregnant, if you want to plan a year, 2 or 3 ahead, that's good. But the women and the men, not just women. Men, you have to be prepared too. If you would like a healthy baby, and when the baby is born, help out more. Relieve us some. Okay, we understand that you work too, but just because we stay at home don't mean we don't work, that we don't need that attention, that we don't need that break. We may not feel like cooking tonight. Go in there and cook for us. Give us, a reason to pamper you too. Show us love in all ways. Because we don't want, to have problems. We don't. We want a happy home. A happy home. Did you know that many women lose consciousness between 30 minutes and an hour due to childbirth related anemia? Most women are low in iron. Remember, Most women are depleted before they even have a baby. So yes, we can get anemia right away. And most women, after having a baby, become mentally ill. Mentally ill. Some of them want to commit suicide. They go into a severe depression because those neurotransmitters are not there. Most women have suicidal thoughts, tendency to become opinionated. No one seems to have understand us. No one. But symptometry is now aware of what's going on, what's happening to us. The depletion of what we need, what's the problem? We have babies we lose, you know, we have tooth loss. Most of us mothers, eventually wear dentures. So we didn't know we can replace those things. So yes, it's very important to make sure that we're healthy before, during, and after. See, and it just takes coming to the American School of Symptometry, contact our pregnancy management specialist, Ms. Rita Taylor. She can help guide you so you will not be depleted. So you can be healthy. So your teeth can be healthy. Your heart can be healthy. If your teeth is bad, your heart is bad because we're interconnected. We're interconnected. So if we're having dental problems, we're having heart problems. So it's very important if you find your tooth loose after pregnancy to go and, see about it and then come to symptometry so we can put everything back in for you, all the nutrients, all the resources that you need to keep a healthy mouth so we can have a healthy heart. Very important. Very important. Okay, it looks like we got 5 minutes left on the show. And I just want to pass this now over to Coach Shaheed.
Thank you so very much, Miss Yvette. That's absolutely amazing. We're going to see if we can take a question or two before we have to depart. The time goes by so fast.
So fast.
Do you have any of our audience have a question for Miss Yvette on her portion? And we've been talking about, brother and sister, childbirth and women mental disposition.
Yes.
And we had two certified symptometry health coaches, both gave their own testimonial that have had children and what happened to them during birth and after the birth. So you have examples, testimony. Absolutely amazing. To verify and confirm that symptometry is on the right track, brother and sister. It's on the right track. Who knew? None of us knew.
No.
Now we know. We don't have to suffer.
Yes.
Unnecessarily.
So love your women. Yes.
Absolutely.
Love your women.
Stay married. You don't have to get a divorce.
Yes.
You don't have to separate.
No.
Produce the neurons and the neurotransmitter in the right amount.
Yes. Yes.
I learned that before coming to symptometry. I was committed.
I think we have a question. Somebody's trying to say something.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, now we can.
Go right ahead. Yeah, I have two people on. I have a woman on and a male on.
Amazing, Rashid. Thank you for joining us.
Is it one of the questions was one of the brothers mentioned why women don't have, like to have sex after they have a baby. But the question from the guy is, well, what happens to the guy when he don't want to have sex? What's going on with him?
Oh yeah, that's ED, and he's not taking care of himself
Yeah.
because sometimes
Oh,
it's for both
he's
men,
funny.
women, and children.
All right. Um,
He's not producing the hormones. That's 30 hormones a human must produce,
mm-hmm.
and 36 hormone if the person is pregnant. That's
Right.
including men. We have to have hormones produced. If
Right.
a man has low T, that's low testosterone, that
Right.
would be a factor. If you
Mm-hmm.
have the blockage in the prostate, enlarged prostate, or concretion, garbage, and sludge never been ionized, that would be a problem. If you have poor circulation, well, oxygenated blood is not going where it's supposed to go, to the nerves and to that part of the body.
Right.
Yeah, does he
Well,
mean that after a woman, do you
No,
mean like
no, no,
after the child was born
no, he
that
was
you don't
saying that,
have
why
desire for
don't,
the woman anymore or
yeah,
something? Or
why don't he have the desire, and why
there we
is
go.
it that
Okay.
I guess well, I guess you want to say it this way, why
low
don't I have the
libido, it's
desire
the same
and the
thing.
will, low libido, right? And that
Yes,
was his question. Then the woman's question was this: is this book by Dr. Norley just recent, or is it something that's been around for a while? So
it's been around for a while, but the information in it is so fantastic.
Yes,
absolutely, okay,
very much.
absolutely.
I would
And go to
definitely
the
get that for your
website and
wife
get updated
hmm
information. Go to the website. Many articles posted
or any
Is,
women.
about
is,
pregnancy
Yes,
management
in your
on
is
this
it
life.
is it on
website.
Amazon right? Is it on Amazon right now?
Absolutely,
Yes.
Okay, then well,
hmm
they on Amazon right now trying to get the book. So
Yes.
no
Get that
absolutely
for
problem.
your
amazing.
daughters. Yes. Get that for your
So
wife, your daughters, your
yeah,
nieces, you know,
right. I
for
mean,
Valentine's. That's a
I just
great
want to thank you
Valentine's
guys for
present
such
for
an
them.
outstanding show. It's just a beautiful
Mhm.
show, an outstanding show. Men understanding women and women understanding women at the same time.
Yes.
It's really, really
Absolutely.
powerful that you guys delivered tonight. And I just want to give you a
Thank
compliment
you.
and thank Rita as well as Yvette for the information that they provide, especially their personal uh,
Story.
the stories
Absolutely.
that they tell. You can't get a better story than from a woman,
Mm-mm.
right?
No, no, I couldn't have done it, Rashid.
No, I mean, you did a good job, but they ain't like the women there. Okay.
No, no. I
Ah,
yield to them. I yield to
thank
them.
you.
Hey, good. Yeah, you'll do correctly. Okay. I just want to say that. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you so very much.
You're
We thank all of
welcome.
our guests
Happy
for
wife,
joining us
happy life.
today. Miss Yvette, we thank you for sharing your expertise and your testimony. And Miss Rita, we thank you so very much as well. So we at the top of the hour, we're gonna get ready to make a transition to the next program coming on here on AM 360, Mali Ali Kule High. The host is Imam Abdul Aziz from Masjid Adam, and their motto is we are together under any and all circumstances. Absolutely amazing. So we're going to make our transition, brothers and sisters. We thank you for joining us today.